Hello and welcome to the Pugsley Crew Reviews podcast, where we talk about all manner of films, be they good, bad, or anything in between. We'll watch them and tell you what we think. Like the last film I thought was shite, but Kerr thought was alright. See? Difference of opinion and all. And funnily enough, Kerr is with us again. How you doing, Kerr, dude?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Been playing Mario Kart World, trying to get 3-star. Well, actually, no, I haven't been trying to get 3 stars. I've been trying to unlock all the skins. It's taking forever because some of them you got to have the Magic Hooper thing happen, and you got to
Oh
get
yeah.
hit by it, and it's so fucking random.
But isn't it glorious to see a game where you're unlocking skins and stuff just by
Yeah,
playing?
it is. It is. It is better than paying money for the skins.
I mean, people complain about the £75 for the game, but at least it's £75 for the game. It's not 40 quid for the game. And would you like Mario in a little hat? That'll be £5.99, please.
Exactly. Fortnite is terrible for it. It's like I enjoy Fortnite, don't get me wrong, right? I think it's enjoyable. But there are some skins you can get that are like 3,800 V-Bucks, which when you look at it is about 20 quid.
Yeah.
For a fucking skin.
But the prices don't seem to really have that much basis. You can have a really cool looking skin at 800 credits, and then you can have a skin that's meh, that's like 2,500.
Yeah.
You do
It
think with
was,
some of them, where'd you come up with a number for each one from?
yeah. There was a pack on the other day. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. But I wouldn't get it because, extra money. I think it was like 3,000 odd V-Bucks. And it's
Oh yeah,
expensive, but it's down. It's because if you buy that bundle, you're saving like it's down from 10,000 odd V-Bucks because you get Finn, Jake, Princess Bubblegum, Marceline, Lumpy Space Princess as a keyboard, which you can also use as a pickaxe and back bling,
oh cool.
and a few other things as well. And I fucking really like Adventure Time. I thought it was fucking ace. And I'm a
Yeah, it is a
40-year-old
cool show.
guy, so yeah. As many shits are given you. Well, there. Anyway, we should move on with the film discussion. The film we're discussing is a Minecraft movie, which I didn't realize until looking it up that it was called a Minecraft movie. I thought it was just called Minecraft,
Same here. Yeah,
but it's a Minecraft movie, which is, maybe they'll do something else called a spin-off Minecraft movie. Yeah. Uh,
probably.
because they probably will do more because I'm pretty sure Steve at the end of the film, spoilers, Steve at the end of the film meets with, I think it's like Alex or something, which I think is one of the other playable characters in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Something like that, anyway. So, with Minecraft, you have a child who wants to mine. For some reason, he really, really wants to mine, but he's not allowed because he's a child. So, a scary old man scares him away. Then you see Steve wearing the exact same clothes. It makes a point of, see, I'm Steve, look, I'm wearing the same clothes. He is wearing the same clothes, but he's an older man. And then he's working and he's not happy, and then he remembers that he likes to mine. So he goes back to the mining place, gets past the old man, and starts mining and finds a magical orb or cube, which he uses. He puts the cube and this other bit together, and it opens a portal to the overworld in Minecraft. And this is where the journey begins. Funnily enough, it's actually like the first fucking 10 minutes of the films is just exposition about like go into the overworld, go into the nether. I think it's called the nether.
Yeah.
Go into the nether, and then getting his pet dog, which he tamed in Minecraft, to dog's name? Colin?
Dennis.
Dennis. That's the one. Who the fuck is Colin? So you get Dennis to run back to the normal world with the orb so that some evil pig lady can't have it and become all powerful. And that is basically what happens
Yeah.
in the first 10 minutes. I'm still surprised they cast Jack Black as Steve.
Originally, it was supposed to be Matt Berry, who's the guy from the IT Crowd. Um, he's the guy from the IT Crowd with a beard,
Oh, yeah,
biggish
yeah, yeah,
chap, scruffy
I know.
looking, yeah. But for some reason, he couldn't do it. Although I'm sure he goes on to voice a character in the film.
I wouldn't have a clue.
But yeah, so Jack Black was going to be a cameo, but ended up being the main star of the film.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Because I think
Things to
Jack
find
Black's
out,
the main star of 75% of all cinema films at the moment, or it feels that way.
huh? He's very into like video game films at the minute. From the seams of it, he was
Yeah.
in Mario, Minecraft, other ones that I can't be bothered to name. But yeah, I can't think of. I can only think of those two films recently, but there's probably more. But also, he's quite into his video gamey stuff because he was even in like Brutal Legend. He was a character in that.
Yeah.
He's been
That's a
character
good
in a few
game.
games. Brutal Legend is a weird one. I really liked it to start with, but when it went to the RTS kind of like mode, I was like, go back to the other mode. It was more fun.
It tried to be a bit of everything, didn't it?
Yeah, bit off more than it could chew, if you ask me. The RTS stuff wasn't fun. Wasn't my thing. Like, fortunately. So, anyway, with the orb going back to Earth, obviously Steve was stuck in the Minecraft realm. Um, two children, at least they both look like children, but I think the older sister's probably a young adult. But to me, looks about 12. Both of them moved to this town that I can't remember the name of because that's where their mother, who's dead, wanted them to live.
Yeah.
So they went there, and then the young child, the boy, is really creative. So that's probably why, you know, Minecraft and creating stuff. But you've got was Jason Momoa. He's like the garbage man. That's his name. He's not actually a garbage man. His name is like Garrett Garbage Man something.
I can't remember the last name.
Yeah, and he's got his own like store with video games and stuff like that, right? And he ends up buying a storage locker of stuff, and in there is the orb. But obviously, in the film, he buys it not for the orb; he buys it for an Atari something or other because it's really expensive and really cool. And then it turns out it was just the box, and there was nothing in the box, which he fucking freaked out about.
That was a cool flip out.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically they end up going into the mine for some reason, I believe. He ends up going to the mine with the child because him and the child meet up and have a conversation, and then the one child gets in trouble for blowing something up in school, and instead of phoning his sister, he phones the garbage man. Pick him up from school and pretend to be his uncle. So they did that. Then they went to the mines for some reason. I can't remember why. And then
I can't. I don't think plot. The plot's not massive in this film, is it? Things just happen.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest piece of storytelling ever.
No, it's definitely not. It's not. It's very simple, but I think that kind of is Minecraft. No offense to those that are
Well,
play
yeah,
it.
that's
I
true.
know Minecraft can be very complicated, but at its basics, it's very simple. You mine, you craft. You mine, you craft. And
It's a
obviously, you know, it does become more complex with adding redstone and blah 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 blah.
it is a film that is heavily built on fan service. It's you like these things. You like the redstone electronic crafting. We'll show it you. You like creepers and them blowing up. We'll show it you. You like chicken jockey. We'll show it you. These are the greatest hits. These are all the things in Minecraft that kids go wild for. We'll show you them one after another with some paper thin plot taking you from piece of fan service to piece of fan service, really.
Yeah, that is basically the entire film. You're right. I enjoyed it more than Postal. I'll say that.
Oh, yeah, it's more watchable than Postal. They do both have a feeling, though, that they just meander from thing to thing.
Yeah.
Neither of them feel like proper, long written scripts. They just feel like notes that made it to film.
Yeah, it kind of feels like there's not much leading the situations that they get into. It's just quite basic in that respect. It's more about how a scene plays out more than how a scene plays out, then the structure carries it. It's just like very simplistic in the style of just scene, funny bits, a little bit of travel, funny bits, little bit of travel, chicken jockey, little bit of travel, big fight at the
Do
end.
you know what film came into my mind while watching this? And it was for a similarness in them, but they're not that similar, but just like some key facts. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Have you seen that?
That's
The first new one.
the first. Yeah, I've seen that. I haven't seen Frozen Empire, but I've seen Afterlife.
Well, that was like geeky girl who's incredibly smart but can't fit in normal life,
Yeah,
autistic coded, finds out she's related to a Ghostbuster, deals with the technology, deals with the ghosts, goes on an adventure through the Ghostbusters world.
yeah,
And this geeky lad, smart with building things, doesn't fit in real life, goes on an adventure finding out he's got these building skills. You know what I mean? They just, to a degree, mirrored each other to me.
yeah. I
The
can
one
see
made me
that.
think of the other.
Yeah, I think that's the one of the things with this. There's not really a lot to it, so it's not difficult to make a comparison with something that's similar, which Ghostbusters Afterlife, the character there is. But I think Jack Black and Jason Momoa are probably the two best characters in this.
Yeah, I mean, I find it funny because some people were like worried that Jason Momoa couldn't do comedy, that like he's
Mm,
Aquaman and but to me, Jason Momoa is the big, strong, tough guy from Stargate Atlantis. And in that sci-fi show, there's a lot of instances where, despite him being the tough guy, him not understanding something or being a bit dumb is
yeah,
like the part of the punchline of a joke.
right.
So I was like, nah, he's done this in Atlantis. He'll be fine. He'll play off Jack Black well. And I do think they play off each other well.
Yeah, they do. Great. To be
I do
honest,
know.
I think the film could have just been Jack Black and Jason Momoa going on an adventure. You didn't need the kids and the other
Nah.
person.
Do you know who I do think needs calling out for being awesome in this film? Jennifer Coolidge, the woman that's principal.
Yeah, yeah,
She's Stifler's mum from
yeah. I
American
know.
Pie,
Yeah,
if I remember right.
yeah,
Oh, she was great.
yeah. I
With
did
that
find it funny.
villager. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, nobody's
especially.
listened to me like you.
And I liked at the end that it goes to her speaking villager, and she's like, It's just dude making noises like that to the
And he's
villager.
all sophisticated. He's like, "Yes, this is my missus." Rah, rah."
Yeah.
Oh. But some of the jokes there were clearly put in for going above the kids' heads for the adults.
Yeah.
Her stuff, in particular.
I liked it when she hit him with the car. Oh, not
Yeah.
again! It's like, how many people she hit with a car?
Oh.
Like, I did think this was good. I've heard a lot of people say that it's really good, and I've heard some people say it's really bad, but me, I just think it's pretty good. Definitely above an average film for me, because I think some of the people in there were really funny, but I think this is a kind of film that would suit children more, because it is
Yeah.
a family film, but because children who are into Minecraft would enjoy this more than me, who's not into Minecraft, because they get more of the references and things.
It kind of feels like it was 10 years too late.
I don't know, fucking Minecraft's still massive.
Well, I know, but Minecraft used to rule the world, and I think Minecraft's like stepped aside for Fortnite a bit now.
Yeah, possibly.
I think, Minecraft should have been made a while ago, and we possibly should have had Fortnite in the movie, but
How the
I'm
fuck did
surprised
they
we haven't.
work that? Too many licenses to fucking work together for that one.
Well, if you wanted to make it really work, it'd have to be the modern Who Framed Roger Rabbit, wouldn't it? You'd have to get in touch with all these studios, and I mean, Roger Rabbit was crazy because it was Disney and Warner Bros, like the Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes type people,
Yeah,
and they had to come up with agreements where neither one got more screen time than the other, neither one ended up looking better than the other. So if you've got to talk to DC and you've got to talk to Marvel, and you're going to offer Batman and Spider-Man equal screen time and not make one look like more of a dick than the other, it would be a nightmare. It'd be worth it. I think there'd be serious money to make out of it, but you'd be
yeah,
paying the people in the back office drawing up all these deals as much as you'd be paying any actors.
exactly. And the funny thing is Who Framed Roger Rabbit was fucking amazing.
Oh, it is.
It's a
I think
really good
that
film.
film shows you that it's worth the effort. If you think something can't be done because of licensing, Roger Rabbit shows you.
Yeah,
If you've got a good enough idea, it is worth going the mile to do it.
it
I
is
did think
definitely
Garbage
worth it.
Man was a bit of a simultaneous P-take of, is it Billy Mitchell, the guy with the Donkey Kong
Yeah.
record? And at the same time, Bret the Hitman Hart.
All
The
right.
glasses and the pink jacket was Bret the Hitman Hart. But they're like going on about how good you are at games, and I was like, they're trying to like parody people like Billy Mitchell who've like lived their whole life basis being good at one game back in the mid-80s or something.
Yeah. Donkey Kong. I think he had a documentary, didn't he? The King of Kong.
Yeah, and I know that he got, well, at one stage, wasn't it apparently proven he cheated, but then at another stage, he sued for being called a cheat and won. So now everyone has to say the alleged cheat if
I
you
have
don't want to
no
get
idea.
sued. Or I know that it went backwards and forwards, and there's a lot of. So I'm not going to call him a cheater because I don't want to get sued. But the alleged cheater,
Yeah. I'm sure it was supposed to be that it was you, even if you did everything perfectly, you couldn't get the score that he got because it's impossible. Something like that, but who fucking knows? I'm not a Donkey Kong aficionado, so I can barely get past like 2 or 3 screens.
yeah, it's
You're
a
fucking
surprisingly
awful at it.
hard game, innit?
It is, yeah. Fucking Donkey Kong. Bastard. Throwing barrels at me. Which is a really cool track, actually, on Mario Kart World. Spoilers.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's an impressive track.
Yeah, definitely. With this, it's like it's hard to really talk about it because I'm trying to think of all the things that happened in the film, and it's basically they are going to meet up with. They go to the overworld. Then Jack Black shows up because he'd been captured and released to try and get the orb to give to the woman, which he was going to do until she thought he was betraying her, and then she came and like attacked, and then he's like, "Oh, she betrayed me." So he was going to give it to her, I think. At least that's how it came
Yeah,
across.
because he wanted to save Dennis, didn't he? And he thought
Yeah.
that she'd got Dennis, but then it turned out Dennis had got away. And I think once he knew he'd been double crossed and he knew Dennis was safe, it was like, screw you.
Yeah. But basically, it's like there's a scrap in the town. There's where they're all having a fight. Jason Momoa has bucket chucks or something, as in nunchucks
Yeah.
with buckets, and he has his ass kicked, which is funny. He knocks Jack Black out by accident. Does do that with his bucket
The
chucks.
kid has a potato top gun or something, and
yeah, because he uses stuff from the real world like battery and stuff. Is different, I guess. But I don't know. It's like most of the story beats and things are like centered around the male characters. Like there's not much going on with the two women.
there's not that much point in them being there, other than the
No.
one being the little lad's sister and going, "Oh, I'm your sister, I love you," sort of thing.
Yeah, but it turns out her thing is accepting him for the way he is. And the other
Yeah.
woman's thing is she has a petting zoo, so she's good with animals. And has a little wolf army for the final fight.
Problem when you get these films with like an ensemble cast, though, isn't it? Is giving them all time to be a good character and time to shine. And
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't say they were bad actors or anything like that. I just think that there was no real motivation there for them to be part of it. That
no,
makes sense. Just seemed a bit. They're there for the sake of being there, which is a shame because they could have done something different with them. Because at one point they split up. So they could have done
Yeah.
something really different with the one group to the other group. So then you have two interesting things going on, but they didn't. They just mainly stuck with the males and had the women in the end waiting in a house. That's about it.
yeah,
But they are the ones who find Dennis. So that was their thing.
yeah, that's their big contribution. Oh, we'd be amiss if we didn't mention the Lava Chicken song. Do you
Yeah.
know that Lava Chicken song is something ridiculous like 34 seconds? It's now the record holder for the shortest UK hit ever. And
Yeah.
apparently Jack Black's biggest hit.
Wow.
You think of that man, you know, Tenacious D and stuff, and his biggest hit is now a 34-second song about lava chicken. I don't know whether he'd be happy at the money he'd get from that, or disappointed that like a silly movie song's eclipsed his like whole music career.
To be fair, Peaches probably done a lot as well.
Yeah, that did do well.
Peaches, 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 peaches. That one.
But it's funny thinking that how sort of child-friendly Jack Black is nowadays, when his old music had the song about you don't have to fuck her hard,
Yeah.
doing cock push-ups, how many drugs you could do. You know, it's proper rock and roll nutcasery, and now he's like the king of PG comedy.
Yeah. How the mighty have fallen. I say that in jest. But then again, he's been in a lot of family films. Like School of Rock was like fucking 96
I was
years
about
ago.
to say, I think it started with School of Rock, didn't it? I think before School of Rock, he was more the idiot sidekick, sort of funny character.
Yeah.
And then School of Rock, he did something heartfelt and from there on out, he's sort of gone on to more main characters and more PG stuff.
Exactly.
If you can catch it, the Tenacious D TV series was awesomely stupid.
I'll have to check it out. Any favorite parts of this film? Any lines that you liked? Quotable?
Oh, I'm trying to think of quotes from this film now. Oh, because it's all so much of it's exposition, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you can't really give like explaining stuff. I suppose I do like the as a child I yearned for the mines. It's just the way he says it.
Yeah. I enjoyed the film, but it's like there's not much to it, if that makes sense. I think it's a film about fan service to Minecraft fans, which is fair enough. If you're gonna make a film based on something, but make it your own, at least have that there. But then I think you can go too far with it as well. Then
Yeah, I mean you've got to say they were loyal to the game. I
yeah,
know in the auction part, there's all big Minecraft YouTubers are hired as actors,
all
and
right.
one of them is like a special. I can't remember his name, and I'm not going to look it up. But one of them's a specialist in the game using those red crystal things to power stuff.
All
And
right.
apparently, they took him on as some form of advisor to make sure all the things they showed in the film using those powered things would actually work in the game. They didn't want to do anything that you couldn't replicate.
Well, that's good. Trying to stay faithful to the source material. Nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, you could do with somebody like that for like every movie game, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Like,
could do someone like that for every fucking film.
yeah,
One thing I liked about the film as well is every time I can't remember the villain's name. Every time she stabbed one of the nether pigs, they turn into a pork chop.
yeah. I think it's it Margosha or Morgosha or something
Something like
on
that. Yeah,
those lines.
yeah. I'll go sure. I think just stabs them. Like one of them's drawing a picture, little kid looking pig. It looks like she just stabs it. It turns into a pork chop. It's behind a big pile of pork chops.
She says sort of like, "Oh, that's lovely, but just tell me, how's that going to make me any gold?" Stab.
All because she
She's a good,
danced. People weren't like,
yeah.
when you lose
She's a
used
good
to it.
villain.
Yeah.
The puppeteers and the actress and that they did great work with her.
One of my favorite scenes actually is when Jack Black defeats her. She's like, "Come here, I need to tell you something."
Oh
She
yeah,
tries to stab her. She tries to stab him, and he hits the blade away. She's like, "No, seriously, I need to tell you something. I." He's like, "Really? You're gonna try and stab me again?" And she's like, "No, no, I won't." And then she tries again, and he just hits the blade out of her hand again. And then the third time, he just walks away. But she's like, "Look, I haven't even got a knife. You can see a hole in the knife."
I do like how they repeated that joke a couple of times to run it in, and I do like that the end result was not getting stabbed
Yeah,
because so many films that would have been where he got stabbed, and it's nice to see an expectation turned on its head.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, overall, I would give this film probably a 6.5 to 7. Probably a 7. I'll give it a 7 out of
Yeah,
10 because I think it was enjoyable.
I've got to agree. I think it's a 7. I
Yeah.
mean, I I have periods where I won't go to the cinema for a long, long time, and then a couple of films will come out I want to see, and it'll seem like I'm living at the cinema.
Yeah.
And the day before this, I saw the new Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, right. I view that's not very good.
I really, really liked it
All right, fair enough. I
to
hear
the
this,
degree.
they've changed a lot that will make sense and
Yeah,
stuff to
they
the
have.
original.
I
But
can I can understand why some people are annoyed, but it depends whether the things annoy you or not. But I think as a film, if you find Stitch fun, you'll like it. But it was going off the back of seeing that one day and going to see this the next. I was a bit like, I don't really know if I fancy being in the cinema a second day in the row.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I've heard bad things about Minecraft. I don't want to be here in a way. This
We'll
is
throw
gonna
popcorn
suck.
around.
So
Fuckers.
it is how things like build or break your expectations.
Yeah.
I think the fact that I went in with low expectations helped me to not be a dick about little problems in this film. Whereas I think some people that were going to this film primarily, like, bigged it up expecting everything in the world from it.
Yeah, I think you need to. I think with every film, whatever it's going to be, set your expectations to this will be okay at my best. Because at the end of the day, most films nowadays are not great. But, you get that most films in general will be okay at best because
Yeah.
there's so many fucking films coming out all the fucking time.
I think usually if it's made it to cinema, it's gotta be of at least a sort of passable level.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen some fucking
Otherwise,
shit in the cinema.
well, I think a
uh,
lot of them now, though, they'll show test audiences, and they'll also, like, the executives watch it, and a lot of the time, if it's crap, it'll just end up on streaming.
yeah. That's the thing, like test audiences, it's surprising how much some people will take on the feedback. Like Deep Blue Sea, for example, the ending was different to how it was originally because the test audience didn't like the original ending.
Yeah.
Because the woman in the film, who was the one behind all the testing on the shark, she was supposed to survive. But they thought that like she was the villain of the film, so she deserved to fucking die. So they changed it so she died, which she was. She was the one who caused all of it. Everything that happened was because of that woman.
Yeah, well, I think it's human nature to wanna see people, because it doesn't happen in real life. People do horrible things and get away with it and stuff. So
Yep,
human nature is to want to see sort of retribution, isn't it?
exactly.
So
Yeah,
people do naturally wanna see her get turned limb from limb for causing it all,
exactly.
and
So they
sometimes you just gotta
should.
give the people what they want.
Yeah, I agree. um, Before we wrap up, is there anything else you would like to add about Minecraft?
No, I think we've said it all, just like most films. If you know the thing it's referencing, if you've played the game, you're gonna get more out of it. If you
Yeah,
haven't played the game, you might just sit there and go, "What the heck is all of this on about?" But ultimately, just go in with a middle sort of head. This should be okay, and you'll do well with it, I think.
yeah. It's not eyebrow or anything, but it's a solid, fun little film. To be honest,
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
and not every film has to be Oscar-winning, life-changing, make you think stuff. It's okay just to eat popcorn and drink Pepsi and kill an hour or two.
yeah. Pepsi better than Coke,
Definitely.
especially Pepsi Max.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, that'll be us. We're not sponsored by Pepsi, so don't worry about it.
But if you do want to send us some free bottles, it could be arranged.
Yeah, fucking right. Pepsi Max or Pepsi Cherry, either will do.
Yeah, cherry.
That'll be us then. Bye bye.
Bye.
uh...
My name is Steve, and as a child, I yearned for the mines.